shout, twist and shout. Come on, my baby now. Come on, baby, let's work it all out. Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Sun City in Arizona. Hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling, shake it up Saturday. Yes, today has been amazing. Don't know about your day, but mine has been very interesting. My day got shaken up with our Mastermind group today. We got very deep in some stuff, and I will tell you this: I was not the only one that got shaken today. So it was a very good Mastermind group. It was amazing, and we finished on time. We did not go over, so much appreciation for that as well. But for some reason, in the middle of the Mastermind thing, I suddenly had this idea. Well, it's been percolating for a while, and the percolation kind of blew its top today. And I'm sitting here, I'm listening there, I'm taking screeds and notes and all of that. And partway through my notes, I'm writing down, look up desks. I've got stuff popping into my head, and it's like, go do this, do this. So I was making up my to-do list, and it was finding a desk. Because what I've actually finally decided, so after the Mastermind thing finished, I got on Amazon and Office Depot and all of those and started looking at desks that I could use in the RV that don't weigh a lot, because you've got to take weight into account. But for a while now, I've been thinking of ripping out my couch, taking my couch out. Yes, the couch, you lift it up, pull it out, and it lays flat and makes just slightly smaller than a full-size bed. Bigger than the twin, smaller than a full. But the last time I opened it up just to just have a lay down and watch a movie and stuff, and I heard this weird noise, and I looked down, and one of the springs had poked out the side of the sofa and was scratching the back of the bench seat for the dinette, for the dining booth. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to have to replace this then. And the previous owners obviously liked that very first seat area, because when I got it, it was a little squished, and the rest of the couch was fine. So we know that that's where the previous owners used to sit a lot. But I've been thinking about it for a while, and I suddenly thought, wow. So I got up. So I went, after I Mastermind thing, I went and got my tape measure and started measuring everything, like how long was the space, how wide is the space, how far is it from the floor, because there's a little shelf that goes underneath the window. How far is it to that shelf? Underneath that area, underneath the shelf area down on the floor, there's this little box thing. So how far was it from the wall to the edge of that box? How wide was the box? So I was tape measuring everything. I even measured my dinette, and there's a reason for that in a moment. And I was sort of like, okay. And then I measured Zeffie's crate, because I want to get it out from being behind the driver's seat, because every time we go to travel, I have to break down her crate, which doesn't take long to do. And then at the end of the driving, when you're kind of tired, I've then got to go set it up, and I have to take it off the bed. Fortunately, I'm short enough that I can lay across the bed and have a snooze if I need to. So I thought it would be nice to be able to set that up permanently and not have to move it. And so I did some measuring, did some configuring, and finally figured out how I want the area to be, and how much space I have for a desk, and where it's going to sit, and how much allowance I have to make for the shelf that's there, because some desk heights come up beyond the shelf height, because the shelf height's 27 inches from the floor to the bottom of the shelf. And then I don't even think it's an inch. Hang on. No, I don't even think it's an inch. So it's probably about 3/4 or something. But, it's still a space. And that shelf is wide enough that it will take a surge protector with multiple plugs on it, including USB ports. So I've been thinking about the whole thing. So I basically made a shopping list for this stuff and wrote in all the measurements and everything else. And so I figured out how big and how wide the desk can be, how tall it can be, and all of that sort of stuff. And then I'm like sitting here and I'm going, okay, if I pull out the couch and I put Zeffie's crate here, that means I can still have it the same configuration that it is now. I don't have to worry about the middle door. And so it's going to end up in a little corner. And then the door will be open, and we can close the door when we're traveling. And because she's buckled in when we're traveling anyway. So I don't like some people put their dogs into crates while they're traveling, which is fine. But I'm sort of like, yeah, but even if you're in an accident, unless you've got the crate fixed in place or buckled in, they're still going to go flying in that crate. I like the idea of her having the belt on, because she's got her harness on, and if anything happens, she's not going to go very far. and not get injured as much as she would as if she was inside a crate. Well, at least that's my thinking anyway. Some people may prove me wrong with crate safety, and that's fine. That was just my thinking. And so I figured out that if I could turn it so the door pointed out across to the kitchen, and it would be really cool. And then I suddenly thought, well, hang on. If I'm going to be sitting here at the desk, what happens to my background? And I'm like, well, I guess I would need to get one of those movable screen things where I can hang my purple curtains up. And I can take this drop off covering the mirror, and use that. And I have its partner still, so I can hang that. And so I'm going to need one of those things. And so I'm sort of like, oh, that's going to be a pain because I'm going to have it up whenever I'm on the Zoom. But then what do I do with it? So I'm looking at alternatives for that too. And it could mean that, it sits across the doorway. And we can still get through because we can just open the curtains and go down the stairs. So I may have a pretty purple doorway, which means that if the door's open, nobody can see in, but then I can't see out either. So, and the thought of having my back to the door kind of makes me nervous because I like to be up against a wall so I can see the room. So I'm trying to figure out how that's all going to work too. But then if I have the screen up, that might help a little bit. We shall see. We'll keep you posted on that one. But finding the different desks and stuff, and then I was sort of like, okay, so these look like nice lightweight desks, and fortunately they give you all the specifications, measurements. So I've got those down. I've created a little Sparkles office space wish list, so I'm putting stuff into there so I don't lose it. And then I travel down further to see how much weight is it going to be. Is it going to be more than what the couch is, less than what the couch is? Less is good. And then I'm like sitting there and I'm like, ooh, how am I going to anchor it to the RV so that when we're driving, it's not going to fall over or move? You have to think of these things. And so I was like, and then if I get a chair on wheels, because I'll need something to sit on. I was thinking about getting a standing desk and all the legality, all the logistics of that. And I'm like, yeah, I remember having my laptop on the counter, which was actually at the perfect height. And I had one of those pads that you stand on, fatigue pads that you stand on. And it had a rim around the edge, and it had a ball piece in the middle. It had a place where you could stand there and you could move your feet around and stretch different muscles and stuff while you were standing. It worked great. And so I'm like, well, maybe I should get a standing desk. So then I'm sort of like, okay, well, how high is a standing desk? Then how much space do I have to put the screen on there? And what if I want to sit down? So there's all these questions going through my head, all these possibilities, but I'm looking at them, evaluating them. But my biggest one right now is how do I anchor the desk to the RV? And then I have to anchor Zeffie's crate to the RV as well. So those are my two big questions right now. But the seat's going to be easy because I've seen places where people have desks and they have, and some of them have like built-in desks there, and they have a loop on the inside of the leg well, and that loop puts a bungee cord on one side and a bungee cord on the other, and the chair's in the middle. So the bungee cord goes around the stem of the chair to stop it rolling around. I thought, well, that solves that problem because I have a whole bunch of bungee cords anyway. So, and because some of these are like pipes, it'll be easy to attach bungee cords to. But then it's sort of like, well, how do I attach these to the RV? And I don't want ones with too many shelves because I'll go stuff it full of stuff. And then I was thinking, oh, and then if I got a piece of wood that was big enough to fit the top of Zeffie's crate, I could set my printer up. And it's a portable printer anyway, because right now it's up in the cupboard, up in the cabinet up there in its little case. And it's sort of like, I've got to pull it out every time I need to use it. And it's like, well, where do I set the thing up? Because it has to be attached to the laptop or the computer in order to work. Because it says it does Wi-Fi. It don't do Wi-Fi. And so, but I thought if I'm staying in place for a length of time, I can actually have it set up. Excuse me. Excuse me. I've been out walking outside. It's very dusty out there. I can have the printer set up while I'm stationary for a while. So it gives me a place to put the printer. And then it's sort of like, but then how are you going to anchor the piece of wood on top of Zeffie's crate to the crate? And you're going to anchor the crate to the crate. So everything I'm thinking about, all the logistics and stuff is fine. I can find desks that will fit in there. But then it's like, how do I attach it to the RV? How do I make it secure? How do I get it so I'm not going to have a lot of junk on top? Because My desk space, I can start off tidy at the beginning of the day, and it looks like a complete mess by the end of the day. I've got bits of paper and post-it notes everywhere. I have my little basket of pens. They all end up right here on the desk, on top of a piece of paper towel. Don't ask me why. And at the end of every day, I put them all away. And the next morning, I'm sitting here and I'm writing, taking notes. And as I change color pens, they come out and they just get put on this piece of paper towel next to me instead of back in the basket. I mean, the basket's like 5 inches from this piece of towel, but those pens somehow end up on the desk there. So it's sort of like, okay, but then I also have to make sure I have space for whatever's on board. Now I'm keeping the box for my computer, so when we're traveling, it has a safe place to go, so I don't have to worry too much about it. And I've got a place that I can actually put it where it's not going to move, where the box is not going to move around. And my laptop goes in my backpack. That's that simple. So it's like, okay, but then I have to, and then I'm like, well, hang on, you already put this stuff away anyway, so wouldn't you just put it back in the same place? And I'm like, oh yeah. So, mushy brain from Mastermind. So that's one of the things I spent probably about an hour on afterwards. I have not settled on a desk or a chair. I haven't even started looking at the chairs yet. But as far as the desks go, I've got about 4 in my little wish list thing there to go back and have a look at and see which is going to work better in that space. And then I'm sort of like, oh, but then I have to remember that the window has a 2.5 inch piece that sticks out. So if the desk is this high, it means I can't tuck it underneath the window, and I have to take this into account. So that cuts down on my length, because at the other end of the thing, there's a window like there is behind me. So there's all these sorts of things that you just think, that just pop into your head and think about. And by the time that was over, I was like, okay, I had some lunch and I looked at Zeph and I said, do you want to go take a nap? And so she runs off into the bedroom. She had high amusement the entire day because it was patio sale day today. Patio sale day is like a yard sale, a garage sale, that sort of thing. So different people had things out. And when we're doing our walk this morning, when we're out there around 7:00 this morning, people were up and getting stuff already. And there was already the golf carts and the cars and the people driving around saying, oh, what have you already got set up over there? And trying to figure out what people had that they were putting out. And remember the first time Brad and I did a yard sale before we moved from Virginia to California, people were telling us, oh, just be watch, you'll have people turning up at 7:00 in the morning. I said, well, they'll be shit out of luck. And I looked at him and went, why? I said, I'm not putting anything out till late. I said, 7:00, I'm back and having breakfast. I said, everything was in the garage. Everything was price tagged. It was ready to go. All we had to do was put it out. And I said, I'm not doing setup till 8:00. So they're going to be out of luck. And sure enough, we come in. So we hear noises and we go and we look out the window. And sure enough, people were like walking up the driveway to look in our turn area behind the fence, because you come up this great big long 80-foot driveway, and then there was a turn piece that went in behind the fence of the house in front of us. And they were expecting to see stuff there. And I'd put my head out and I'd go, excuse me, can I help you? Wasn't there a yard sale here? I said, it doesn't start till 9:00. And they're like, oh. I said, that's when we start putting the stuff out, is at 9:00. And they were highly offended. Well, can you show us what you know? I said, no. I said, we are having our breakfast right now, so you will have to go back and come back at 9:00. These people it was amazing. So at 8:00, we opened the garage door and started putting stuff out. And then all those early shoppers came. They were sort of like, can't remember if any of them came back. Oh, some of them did come back at 9:00. So, so it was interesting walking around this morning, seeing everybody set up. So Zeffie's been up on her perch this morning, just going. Somebody's come past with their dog. You always tell when somebody comes past with the dog, because she like lean forward to the window and put her nose up against the window and just watch the whole way as they walk past. And if it was a dog she knew, it was. And if it was one of her friends, she was standing doing that. So I could tell who was outside by how she was reacting. Was it somebody we knew, somebody we didn't know, or somebody that we knew really well? And then after that, so after all of that mastermind thing and after the planning and everything else, I was sort of like, oh, my brain is so sore. I said to Zephyr, we're going to take a nap. And I said, we're going to have a 30-minute power nap, and then we're going to get up and we're going to get back to this planning thing again and see if we can work something out and maybe start doing some sorting. That was the other thing we're going to do. And so I went in there and I said, yeah, and so we climbed on the bed, snuggled down. When I went in there to get in bed, she's got her head completely on my pillow. Like she's laying on her portion of the bed, but her head is completely on my pillow. I said, "Oh, you want to share the pillow?" And so I laid down, put my head at her, so I was looking at it, and she just sort of like looks at me. You see a little nose twitch, and she lifts her head up, then she stands up, spins around, and plants her butt next to my pillow with her head away. And I'm like, "Gee, thanks." And then she got up and decided that she wasn't going to stay there because I had interrupted her nap. So she got up and went out, and I woke up later on, and I woke up and I thought, what time it is? Look, it was 5 o'clock. And I was like, oh, wow, that was like a good 2 hour nap. So, yeah, I guess I needed it. It's been a busy week, though. So, yeah, so we've had it, and we came back from a walk just before we got online. So we've had a really good day. So let us know what you did today to shake up your day. Let us know in the comments below. Remember, if you have any family tree questions that you would like answered, then please, we're actually getting ready to start. We're already doing family tree answers every Tuesday night on our evening Zoom, but we're also getting ready to launch a daily answer time, family tree answer. So, and that will be a separate one from the lives. So we're getting ready to do that. So we need lots and lots and lots of questions. So if you have questions on family tree research, where to go next, what to look for, and all of that sort of thing. What does this terminology mean? What's the best thing for this? What's the best thing for that? Then please private message me or drop them in the comments below so that we can get those questions answered for you. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because this is going to be starting real soon. So that's it from us for today. Go out, have a super fantastic spark. Oh, that's the other thing. I got an Amazon order that I ordered the other day to be delivered to the RV. Normally I get it delivered to my mailbox. And they said it would be delivered by 5 p.m. So, of course, I wake up, I have a look, just look out the window, no packages. So I get online to have a look, and it says by 10 p.m. tonight. And I'm like, really? Seriously? And so I go in and I track the stuff. Like, they arrived at the sorting facility in Surprise, which is next door, literally, kind of, about 10, 15 minutes away, at like 2:30 in the morning. And I'm like, okay, it arrived there at 2:30 in the morning. I've had other orders arrive at 2:30 in the morning, being delivered before 5 p.m. And I'm like, and you're not delivering till like 10 p.m.? It's going to be dark when the stuff gets here, which means it's going to be more difficult for them to find me. I actually had an order delivered the other night, and it was like 9:30 at night, and the guy was parked over my driveway area and kind of onto the next door's site. And he was sitting there, and of course he's sitting there in the car, and he gets out and he has his phone out, and you can see him putting his flashlight. And I said, oh, excuse me, are you looking for, and I told him the number, and he goes, yeah. I said, that's here. And meanwhile, the neighbor across the street had come out because he could hear this car sitting out there and seeing what it was. And so the guy comes up, gives me the package, and walks off. But it was like 9:30 at night, and I'm like, 9:30 at night? I thought, when I come back from my walk with Zeffie, I could put my PJs on so I can relax for the evening. I don't have my PJs on right now. I want to put my PJs on and just relax for the evening. But I'm going to have to be keeping an eye now on my delivery to see where it is, when it's going to get here, and all of that sort of stuff. And I think I'll go back to but this one I want to deliver here because I've got the big box of toilet paper coming. And one of their boxes of toilet paper, lasts like 9 months. 9 months, 10 months. I'm trying to remember when I last ordered it. Somewhere near the beginning of it. It was like January or February that I ordered it. And I'm on the last pack because they come in, there's 6 packs of 8 rolls. And they come in, and yeah. So they last me, it's like January or February I ordered them, and we're now October. So yeah, those boxes last me a while. And I don't want to have to go to the mail place and walk out of the UPS store with a box of toilet paper. So I figured I'm just going to have that delivered here. It's like when I order this office furniture and stuff, I want it delivered here, but at a decent time, not in the dark. But anyway, go have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your evening. I'm going to have quiche tonight. Yes. You want quiche tonight, Zeffie? Zeffie loves the broccoli quiche. She likes the little green bits of broccoli in there. But then she also likes cheese and eggs too. So it's a win-win-win for her. Anyway, have a super fantastic, sparkling evening. We'll catch you back here bright and early tomorrow morning for Serenity Sunday. Hey, con it up. So shake it up, baby.